Hello everyone, welcome back for another shave. I hope that all of you are doing well. Yesterday something exciting arrived and I can't wait to try it. Finally, after a very long wait, the Bison by Karve Shaving is available. This time in stainless steel. You know, the aluminum version is the original release of the Bison, but this here is the stainless steel brother of that razor. If you're not new to the channel, you probably know one of my absolute favorites, and since I own it, probably the razor that I reach the most is the Bison in aluminum, and I was waiting for this one for a very long time. There were some talks about it for quite some time, I believe more than a year, and it's finally here. I was fortunate to order from the first drop. Chris from Karve, he did already 2 drops at the time of the recording. I think that's 30 razors for each drop, and immediately when the first one was announced and was activated, I ordered from the first drop. So here is it, my stainless steel Bison. The box is nice with foam to keep the razor secured, but that's not so important. I'm excited to try this razor, and let's go over the technical specifications. So the overall length, top to bottom, it's at 96.5 millimeters or 3.8 inches. The handle, classic length, sitting at 89 millimeters or 3.5. The blade gap over here, as you can see, it's at 0.71 millimeters, and the blade exposure is at 0.06. The overall mass of the razor, it's 98.5 grams, and the price point is 295 Canadian dollars. Classic design. I think that there is small update to the knurling compared to the original Bison, but overall same look, same specifications, different material, of course, different price point, as you know, and the machining, the fit and finish, the tolerances, as you can expect from Karve, flawless. Really, really good. I can't put any other razor manufacturer at the same level as Karve in terms of how pristine and how excellent the razor feel, looks, and the main thing is the threading. When you just spin and untighten or tighten the razor, there is just that unique feel that only the Karve razor is having. And I'm generalizing Karve razor because it's pretty much the same with my aluminum Bison. I have aluminum Christopher Bradley. What else do I have? I have stainless steel Overlander, and I tried the brass Overlander. All of them excellent threading. And one thing that I love, over here you can see that Chris always adds some lubrication for the threading. Most of the new razors, when I get them, the threading is a little bit rough, almost like feeling that there is some sand particles from the machining left there. With Karve, it's never the case, and they're always lubricated, which is great, so I don't need to add any mineral oil to the threading. Of course, 3-piece razor. We have the top cap over here, the same peel design, as you can see, with these elements and the long post for the threading, and the base plate over here, made in Canada. For the blade, I'm gonna load it with brand new Personna Comfort Coated. Yeah, that feeling of tightening and having the threads so perfectly aligned. There is absolutely no wobbling, no big movement and all that. You can see the washer at the bottom. I know there are a lot of discussions. People have strong feelings about it. From my personal experience, I've seen razors that I own and friends' razors from different materials where there's some kind of like wear where the materials rub off, even when you don't tighten them too tight or over tightening the razor. Over time this happens. So I know this is not really needed, and usually it's serving kind of like a purpose to be more secure during shipping if the package is handled roughly. But I keep the washers there, just my personal preference. I like to keep the tools as good as possible that I use. Here is the blade review. Looking really, really good. I'm so excited. The balance, it's excellent. I didn't expect anything else from Karve. Chris is paying fantastic attention to detail. Yeah, his quality standards are very high. I don't think that anyone can really match them. You wait usually for his razors to be ready and to arrive, but once they do, it's totally worth it. Oh yeah, and one detail here, because my Bison in aluminum is limited edition from the Never Alone 4 release. So the original handle of the aluminum Bison and this one, of course, is having kind of like this hollow section at the bottom. So probably can fit in a stand for hollowed handles. What else I'm gonna use? Well, it's a little bit hard to figure it out, or maybe not. Alberta boys. It's definitely not hard. Karve, if you don't know, they're located in Alberta. MacDuffs, they're neighbors, and this is the most appropriate soap to use. Of course, going full on matchy-matchy with my Alberta Boys MacDuff's limited edition brush over here. Already whipped great lather. In my Brousseau and Dove shaving bowl. And in the background, if the microphone is catching this, it's my son. They just arrived back from a walk and he's hungry. Time for a snack. So he makes sure that we are aware of that. Wonderful smell. Alberta Boys is fantastic. Time to wet the face. First pass with the Bison in stainless steel. That's exciting. Really a favorite razor of mine, the aluminum Bison. Very familiar feel. The profile of the head, the blade gap, the exposure, the blade feeding, excellent. Now we have that new sensation of the extra weight, and I need to remind myself, hey, this is not the aluminum one. Don't press too hard. The classic advice, allow the razor to do the work. Very smooth. Very nice first pass. Certainly the weight makes a difference, how the razor feels, and also the finish of the stainless steel probably feels a little bit slicker, but I don't know, it might be just the fact that the razor being heavier while you glide it on your face feels a little bit more steady and easier to control on a way because of that weight. You don't need to make sure to provide more pressure, because if you go too light with the aluminum, it may just kind of like bounce and not shave too much, right? So there is a little bit more kind of like confidence when you glide it with the stainless steel. That was the word that I was searching for. Time for the second pass. Also, thanks to all of you, a lot of people reached, and it seems that you liked the audio of the new microphone. I know that it's catching the feedback a bit too much, especially the first time using it with the Tatara razor, That razor is loud, so I'm curious how it will feel with this one today. I also put the microphone a little bit further away from my face. So I hope that the balance will be right. Also, this razor is way quieter. Across the grain is smooth. I'm a bit more quiet, focusing on the overall feel. Familiar feel. Feels maybe a bit smoother across the grain, and the efficiency is certainly better, especially on the problematic spots under the jawline, around the mustache area here. Yeah, very good. That extra weight pays off and adds to the efficiency. Third pass against the grain. Let's see how much of a difference there will be. I expect this pass to be the most obvious difference between the two razors. But I may have to do a head-to-head comparison. Let me know in the comments. Are you curious to see how it compares to the aluminum in a head-to-head shave? That might be interesting, even though that stainless steel versus aluminum. Interesting. I didn't do this type. No, I did with the brass overlander compared to the aluminum bison, I think. Yes. But this time it will be the exact same razor. Very smooth on the against the grain pass. With Personna Comfort Coated, I use it as a middle of the road type of a blade, which is comfortable, because it's not the smoothest or the sharpest and the most efficient one, but it's a very good blade for me to get a initial good impression from a razor that I use for the first time. Yeah, it almost feels that it's smoother, and for some reason, probably it's just the audio feedback being different. It feels that the blade clamping is just better. But that's probably a feeling from the difference in the audio feedback, and that weight that provides a comfort and confidence during the glide makes the against the grain pass really shine, and the efficiency because of the weight. I can certainly tell, like, yeah, that razor takes care very well of everything. BBS, not much buffing needed. The problem is that it's so comfortable, so you almost don't want to end your shave too quick. You want to add a bit of buffing. I got myself on a couple of spots. Over here one and one over here. Two tiny blemishes. One of them I keep on getting over the last few shaves, and I keep forgetting to be careful there. But wow, yeah, very efficient. Fantastic. Not that the aluminum bison struggles with efficiency, of course, but this one I feel that it's just better because of the weight, of course. BBS, needless to say. Yeah. But let's see what the album will tell us. Did they overdo the pressure and the buffing? So far, nothing. Just light tingling on one of the blemish spots. One over here and one over here. Very light. Barely 1 out of 10. Just a light tingle and it's gone. Of course, time to finish with a matching splash. Alberta boys. Oh, so good. MacDuff feels so good on the face. One of my favorite splashes. Perfect BBS without much effort. The Bison stainless steel. What can I say? When it comes to Karve, I just cannot recommend them enough. Figure out what works for you based on the offerings that they have, and you have more customizable options with the Christopher Bradley. You have the Bison in aluminum, stainless steel, and you have the Overlander as well. I think both in aluminum and stainless steel. Again, Chris is doing his best, I assume, to keep everything in stock, but when you offer multiple razors in multiple materials, and when you work alone on all these different pieces that are needed and materials, it just makes things not so fast. But all of them, I highly recommend them. I don't know which one I like more. I use my Overlander in stainless steel ever since I got it quite frequently. I love my Bison in aluminum. Now I have this one. Plus I got the other razors that I shared with you already on the channel. So many good new razors in my collection, and I like them all. Wow. It's an interesting wet shaving problem to have, right? We have too much stuff. Is this a problem? Maybe it's not, but maybe the main problem is that we cannot shave 2 or 3 times a day. Anyway, yeah, that was an excellent shave. The Bison in stainless steel is finally here. I can be happier picking this one. More efficient compared to the aluminum, mainly because of the weight. And yeah, it just feels great. Knurling excellent. Detailing around the goat, yeah, I forgot to mention, it's excellent, but I mentioned it multiple times with the aluminum. Nothing changes there. It's the same razor, just different material. And yeah, more efficient. That extra weight, be careful with the buffing and with the pressure, because this tool is efficient, yet gentle for your skin, right? Okay, thanks for joining me for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe.